Hello, magical people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Meg Moonbeam, and I'm here with my little Taurus prince, kitty son, Ocean. He's very, very comfortable. He is in a very chilled out Taurus mood at the moment, and we're so happy to be here with you guys and share this special video on the Mars retrograde in Leo that's going to be starting tomorrow from when I'm filming this video on December 6th, going all the way until January 6th. Mars is going to be retrograde from December 6th to February 23rd. So Mars does go retrograde for quite a while. But Mars will be retrograde in the sign of Leo from December 6th, as I said, to January 6th. I'm going to do a whole separate video for the collective and all 12 signs on Mars retrograde in Cancer in the Gregorian New Year. So in today's video, we will be focusing on the Mars retrograde in Leo for the collective and all the 12 signs. Thank you guys so much for joining me live. Hello, Celestial Emma. Or if you're watching the replay, hello, MJ, my soul sister. I miss you. Oh, thank you so much, Angela, for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So yeah, before we get into the astrology of the Mars retrograde, just want to share with you guys, I have this new workshop available, 2025 Astrology Predictions. It's an over 10-hour live workshop that I recorded last weekend from Thursday, November 8th to Sunday, December 1st. And the replay of the workshop is available over on beyondmystic.academy. The link is in the description box below. I talk about the astrology predictions, remedies for all 12 signs, only $35 US for over 10 hours of a live workshop. So you guys can go check that out at the link below. And also, I do have personal astrology readings available. Those are available at consultations.beyondmystic.net. Thank you guys so much for the positive comments on the workshop. I really appreciate that, you guys. Thank you so much. So yeah, I have opened up a few more availabilities for April. So other than that, I will be booked out until June. So if you do want to have a reading with me next year, be sure to book in sooner rather than later at the link in the description box. And last little housekeeping thing I want to share with you guys is that my husband Jens and I have got some upcoming live events coming up in Belgium while we're here for the holidays. And this is a page off of Jens's official website. It is in Dutch. So on December 14th, Jens and I are doing a joint lecture where I will be speaking in English. I am an English speaker on live, the astrology of 2025 and beyond. Jens is going to talk about transhumanism, spiritual evolution in Dutch. So December 14th, we're doing a duo live lecture, both of us in Limburg, Belgium. December 19th, Jens is doing a solo live workshop in Meetkerke, which is just outside of Bruges. And then December 21st, the winter solstice, happy almost solstice. We're going to do together, Jens and I, a winter solstice day retreat that'll be in Zuidkerke, just outside of Bruges. And that'll be in English and Dutch. The December 19th one will be in Dutch. And then December 22nd will be another live lecture with Jens in Dutch in Antwerp. So you can go email. I'll put the information in the link in the description box of this video. You can email Jens at jenspateo@hotmail.com. Well, I'm having a Mercury retrograde moment to book in, or you can visit his website, jenspateo.be, and I'll put the info in the description box as well. So it is a Mercury retrograde. I am filming this during a Mercury retrograde and the day before Mars goes retrograde. So I'm calling on the conversational gods, the communication gods and energies. Please help me to speak as clearly as possible in this video. I'm sure it will be fine. I just noticed I get really affected by the Mercury retrogrades. So let me know if any of y'all have that as well. But I like to have fun with it, just laugh with it. It's there. Not much we can do about that. So, okay, Mars retrograde. This is a big deal because Mars is one of the inner planets. Okay. And Mars actually goes retrograde the least amount of times out of all of the inner planets. We only have a Mars retrograde about once every 2 years. So it's not that often. We have Mercury retrogrades a few times a year. We have Venus retrograde usually in a year. Mars only goes retrograde about once every 2 years. So it's not that often. And Mars, as I said, is one of the inner planets. And Mars is the divine masculine side of life. So it is our action, our motivation, excuse me, our life force energy, our boundaries. It also rules conflict, anger, frustration, aggression in more of its challenging side. But Mars is about moving forward, our action, where we direct ourselves, our motivation, right? And Mars is the planetary ruler of Aries and Scorpio. So if you are an Aries or Scorpio rising or sun, you are going to be very affected by this Mars retrograde, more so than the other signs because it's your planetary ruler, as are the Leos, okay? So Mars will be retrograde in the sign of Leo from December 6th to January 6th. And then Mars will be retrograde in Cancer from January 6th to February 23rd. So the Cancer portion is going to be longer. And then I'll do a whole separate video on the Mars retrograde in Cancer for the collective and all 12 signs. Then the Cancers will be very much affected. So, it is very significant, Mars retrogrades. We can feel the energy kind of stopping, pausing, even more so with the fact that we have Mercury retrograde as well. So from December 6th to December 15th, December 15th is the last day of the Mercury retrograde that we're currently having in Sagittarius. December 6th to December 15th, Mercury and Mars will both be retrograde. So this is a period where we've also got Uranus retrograde. We've also got Jupiter and Chiron retrograde, where we are having a bit of what we like to call in astrology a retrograde city moment. Okay, that's a fun term that we like to use when there's a lot of heavenly bodies retrograde. And retrogrades are about reviewing, reflecting, reevaluating, revisiting, whatever words you like to use. Stopping, pausing, reflection, and it's not the best time to move forward, okay, to just like brash ahead, move forward, even if there's delays and challenges. Mars being about energy and assertion, retrograde is a time of really going within, putting our energy and direction within and not outward. Okay, so I'm going to talk about what this means for all of us as a collective, and then I'm going to talk about what it means for each of the 12 signs. So wherever you are having Mars retrograde in Leo or when it's in Cancer, it's an invitation to really look within, okay, and not force anything in that area of life where you have the Mars retrograde outward, okay? Now, this is significant as well because Mars is the current, what we call dispositor, okay, of the North Node. Okay, the North Node is currently in Aries, and the North Node has been in Aries for about the last year and a half and will be there in Aries until January 11th when he ingresses into Pisces. So we've been having the North Node in Aries, which is our collective higher purpose and destiny of what's really in alignment for us to be focusing on and embracing. North Node in Aries has been about independence. It's been about, taking our energy back and being empowered and paying attention to the present moment and common sense, living in the now, taking action. Okay. So with Mars being the dispositor, the ruler of Aries and the North Node, this is where we can be really noticing some destined life shifts and insights coming out, okay? Because the North Node does have to do with our purpose, does have to do with our destiny. And I was hearing intuitively as I was preparing for today's video, very, very strong. I kept hearing Spirit saying, where have you given your power away and why? Okay. And how did that happen? Mars is about empowerment. It's the divine masculine, being strong, right? Being in our warriorship and not taking any shit from anybody. Okay. If you know anybody who is an Aries or is a Scorpio or has Mars energy very strong in their chart, they don't take shit from nobody. Okay. And they're usually very good at their boundaries unless they have other opposing placements in the chart. And our Mars is very, very important. It's our action, it's our energy, it's where we're motivated. And it also has a lot to do with our physical health. So I'm being really, guided to share with you guys, if it resonates with you, reflect on where have you given your power away and why? And how did that happen? Okay. I'm also feeling intuitively with this Mars retrograde, the Strength Tarot card. Okay. To me, and I know everybody kind of interprets tarot cards a little bit differently in different ways. For me, the Strength card is very much about, yes, strength in general, but inner strength that comes within. And when we look at the Strength card, there's this beautiful woman who, she's not out in the world on a stage sharing her voice. She's not in the strength of being in the spotlight. In the Strength card, she's in the strength of looking down, kind of symbolically going within and taming a lion. Okay. And interesting that we associate the Strength card in the tarot with the sign of Leo. This Mars retrograde is happening in the sign of Leo, which does rule the ego in astrology, which does rule the sun and life force energy, similar to Mars. It's very energetic, right? So there's also this theme with this Mars retrograde in Leo. I feel the Strength card very much intuitively with it, where it's like, where do we also need to not just be aware of where have we given our power away to and why, but where are we maybe being in our ego? Or where are we not fully being in our heart? Or where are we not listening to our intuition, right? Is there a certain area of life where our ego needs to be tamed? Or maybe it's not necessarily with us. Are there people around us that we're allowing ourselves to be surrounded by that are very much living in the ego, in the mind, and not so much the heart? Okay, so that's something to think about. And there's great, even though it's not the best time to be outwardly, putting out a project or sharing your voice or being seen, it's more inward. It's about cultivating inner strength. And Ocean is agreeing with me here. Cultivating inner strength, right? Receiving, Ocean's confirming with this tail, receiving validation, I'm hearing Spirit say, from ourselves and not from others. Okay. That can be a shadow side of Mars. That can be a shadow side of Aries. And also Scorpio, also Leo, is the need to receive validation from others, right? Instead of self. And that's the positive strengthened side of Aries and Scorpio, both ruled by Mars, and also Leo. When we're confident just in ourselves through that self-validation, through that inner strength, right? So I think there's a lot of great things to reflect on with this Mars retrograde. And I am going to go sign by sign. Ocean, you're going crazy over here. He's going nuts all over my desk, walking around. Do you want to come back? Want to come back here? He's so funny. Yeah, so we're going to go through all 12 signs for specific predictions. I also want to say that Mars does have to do with our physical energy levels. Okay. So us astrologers were like, oh my God, Mars retrograde in Leo. This is quite dramatic. Okay. Leo is the most dramatic sign. Mars is very much about energy. It energizes whatever it's in. It's about war, conflict, right? Anger, frustration. So while Mars is in Leo, which is what I'm focusing on in today's video, the Mars in Leo portion, this is a dramatic time. This is where people can be very emotionally volatile, and we can see outbursts coming out within ourselves, within others. And this is a very important time to not take things personally from other people that might be very emotional, energetic outbursts. People may be, whether they're conscious of it or not, just trying to bring up drama, start drama, right? Leo is the sign of drama. So detaching from drama is going to be a huge thing with this Mars retrograde, because you can notice whatever area of life that you have got this Mars retrograde in Leo, that there can be drama coming up, possible conflict. So it is an alignment to pause, reflect, stop in our tracks. We do need to take extra care of our health and self-care. While Mars is retrograde, we can feel less energized physically. We can be more prone to anger and frustration. And be very, very mindful, you guys, of who you spend your time around. Also, what situations you spend your time around with this Mars retrograde. This is not a good time from now until January 6th. Isn't it interesting that it's in Leo retrograde until January 6th, that very historical day? This is not the best time to be going to very dramatic events, protests, feeling like you need to fight, getting out in the streets and being at the front of the line. Not the best time, okay? Because not just that it's Mars retrograde in the sign of Leo, but for the whole time Mars is retrograde in Leo, he's in an opposition to Pluto. Okay, now as this retrograde starts, Mars is at 6 degrees of Leo. By the time it is over, February 23rd, Mars will be at 17 degrees of Cancer. So we're seeing this Mars retrograde from 6 degrees of Leo to 17 degrees of Cancer. Okay. The whole time it's in Leo, this is high drama. Okay. I hate to say it, and I want to be wrong about that, but just reading the astrology, you guys, this is high drama geopolitically, because Pluto, Mars in opposition to Pluto, has to do with politics, powerful people, in humanity. Okay. Pluto is in Aquarius. In our personal lives, because Mars is one of the personal planets. So it can really be feeling like everywhere we look, okay, why is everybody so triggered? Why are people being so dramatic? Why are people making such a big deal out of things that aren't that big of a freaking deal? Okay, that can be a huge thing that we can be noticing. So one way that we can work with this retrograde is inner child healing, as Leo is the sign that rules our inner child. That is a very good, I think, astrological remedy and thing that is in alignment for us at this time to do inner child healing, if that resonates with you. We can be noticing, okay, because Mars is, along with Pluto, okay, these are the two planets that rule sex and sexual activities. And these are also the two rulers of Scorpio, okay? People can be feeling, I feel like, overly sexual. And then at the same time, some people may be feeling not sexual at all, or very triggered by sex. There can be sexual traumas coming up to the surface as well. So I think sexual healing, tantric healing, as well as the inner child healing can be astrological remedies for this Mars retrograde. Leo is the inner child. Leo is creativity, our gifts and talents, love, light, fun. It also rules celebrities, famous people, royalty, okay, people that are in the public eye. So I think there's going to be even more revealing than there's already have been. Okay, there's been so much revealing around people in the public eye, politicians, famous people, celebrity. That's going to be even more so with this Mars retrograde in Leo in opposition to Pluto. Pluto is secrets, crime, the dark side of life. There's going to be some yucky information, some new yucky dark side of life information being revealed during this Mars retrograde in Leo about famous people, celebrities, royalty, and it's going to be out in the open. Okay, this is going to be very out in the open. This is not just for the conspiracy community, the truther community. This is the whole world learning about crimes, secrets, very dark information about people that are famous or royal families or celebrities that people have been looking up to. So that's going to be a very big theme, and also very interesting that because Leo rules children in astrology, I think that child sex trafficking is going to be a very big theme. While Mars is retrograde in Leo, there could be some huge development with that information coming to light. We could learn about a new court case, possibly, that could be coming to light that, yeah, could have to do with Epstein and Diddy, but could also be something new. Okay, because Pluto is 0 degrees of Aquarius, things that are completely new. There might be a new court case. Pluto is one of the signs that rules the courts. Tammy says, this so needs to happen. Totally. And Sue says, bring on the Epstein Diddy secrets coming out. Yeah, and it's interesting because even though the Diddy trial as of right now is starting in May, and on my channel, that's something that I actually want to do a whole keeping up with that P. Diddy trial, having some guests on, looking at the astrology of it. So I'm getting all prepared to do that coming up in 2025, because that's going to be very important for us to pay attention to. I'm actually feeling intuitively there's something else. And Ocean's meowing. It's okay, Choo-Choo. And I'm getting chills when I say that. And wow, okay, I wasn't expecting this. You never know what's going to come through when you're a psychic medium, when you're an intuitive. I'm actually feeling really strongly right now Princess Diana. I'm feeling that, wow, I'm feeling very strongly Princess Diana. Yeah, there's some new secret being revealed. There's a new topic. There's new people that are being put in the playing field. I feel like maybe Prince Harry is going to have to do with this. I feel like something's coming up with the royal family. Something is being exposed about the royal family during this time, and we've already been having that big time in recent years. That's not that crazy of a prediction to make, but I'm intuitively feeling Princess Diana very, very strong. And she's making me feel like it's not just Epstein, it's not just Diddy. There's a new trial. There's a new person. There's a new group being exposed. And I think maybe she's coming through because she was a witness to that, or maybe it was a group that had something against her. There could even be, okay, interesting, we're getting the thumbs up. That's also making me feel like with this Mars in Leo, which is a lot of energy towards famous people and focus on famous people, in opposition to Pluto, there could be the death of a member of the royal family while Mars is retrograde in Leo. And then possibly through that death, maybe people feel more safe to come forward and share their stories about the truth of what has happened in a situation. I'm feeling in particular the British royal family. Yeah, Tammy says perhaps royalty in general. Could be, for sure, Tammy, could be. I definitely feel the British royal family. I feel Prince Harry. I feel Prince Charles. And this feels very, very strong. Princess Diana is making me feel like this is happening for sure. This is about to happen for sure. So that's interesting. Thank you so much, Diana, for that. I love the energy of Princess Diana. Thank you so much, Karen, for the super sticker. I love you guys so much, and I really appreciate the super chats, super stickers, and you guys supporting my content. Thank you so, so much. So, okay, cool. We've got Princess Diana. I was not expecting that. That's super, super fun. Before we get into the 12 sign predictions for this Mars retrograde, I have a few more things to share for the collective. So some significant dates. December 12th, Mars retrograde in Leo is going to be in an opposition exactly to Venus at 5 degrees of Aquarius. Okay, so this is just next week from when I'm filming this video. This is going to be an unstable time for the financial markets. You know, Venus does rule finances, money. In Aquarius could have to do with crypto. Okay, there could be, and conjunct Pluto. There could be some instability in the crypto markets, in alternative or risky investing. So just want you guys to be mindful of that date, mindful of that period. And we could also see with Mars in Leo at 5 degrees, which is a Leo degree, in opposition to Venus 5 degrees of Aquarius, a major like celebrity, royal family, famous person breakup. Venus has to do with love and committed relationships. So we're definitely seeing people in the public eye. I'm hearing Spirit say from the old system that no longer serves being exposed. Their relationships being exposed, their dealings being exposed, their secrets being exposed as well. Another significant date is going to be January 3rd, 2025. This is when we are going to have exact Mars, Pluto in opposition to each other. So Mars will be at 1 degree of Leo and Pluto will be at 1 degree of Aquarius. This is a very volatile energy. So, you know, if you guys have been following my content for a while, you know that when it comes to New Year's on January 1st, that is complete bullshit. Okay, that is the Gregorian calendar. And actually, our real calendar New Year is the spring equinox in the Northern Hemisphere. And if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, then it's your spring equinox in September. So that's a whole nother story. I'm actually going to do a whole nother video on that. But that week of New Year's, we are having Mars Pluto in exact opposition. Okay, this is a very volatile energy. These are two malefic planets in an opposition with each other. So this is a time of shadow work. One way that we can work with it is to actively do shadow work, healing, therapeutic modalities in our personal lives. You are going to notice a potentially very adverse energy and very adverse collective events that first week of January. Also, you know, going into the second week, but January 6th is when Mars leaves Leo, goes back into Cancer, and Mars is actually at fall in Cancer. He's not in a strong position. So he's stronger in Leo. It's more dramatic, can be violent. Okay, so I want to be wrong about that, but just have to say astrologically, we could see something very violent happening at the beginning of the year, the first week of January. People are feeling violent, they're feeling aggressive, angry, frustrated. So this is definitely a time while Mars is retrograde in Leo, and particularly the first week of January, and most particularly January 3rd, do not put yourself in any compromising situations. Avoid protests if possible. Avoid crowds of people. Avoid very big events if possible. Okay, so just have to say that. People are feeling angry. People are feeling triggered, and there's an energy of power struggles big time as well. And if you are a Scorpio, okay, this is our two planetary rulers in opposition. And it's from now, from when I'm filming this video at the beginning of December, all the way going until January in Leo. So Scorpios, be very mindful of power struggles. One of my favorite words of wisdom is observe, don't absorb, don't take anything personally. Okay, Scorpios, we've got our stingers. I don't need to tell you guys, we've got our stingers. And if someone pisses us off, if someone crosses us, we can take out that Scorpio stinger and say some things or do some things that we can never take back. So Scorpios, just got to be real with you guys. Scorpio suns, risings, I'll also say the moons. Be very mindful of your energy. If you're feeling aggressive, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling triggered, let it out on a punching bag, go to a martial arts class, dance it out, run it out, have sex, be creative, be very mindful where you're directing your frustrations. And that also goes for the Aries as well. So Aries, Scorpio, also the Leos, also the Aquarians with Pluto and Aquarius can just be feeling aggressive, okay, and pissed off with that Mars-Pluto opposition. So just be mindful of that time. And this is where astrology is great because it can prep us for some of these transits. And thank you so much for subscribing and liking. I really appreciate that. This is where astrology is great because it's prepping us for that as a potential, okay, if you are one of those signs. Sue says, I'm having to watch The Stinger. I'm pissed off right now. Yeah, it's important for us, Sue's, to watch our Scorpio stingers, because the thing about Scorpio and our stingers, you know, scorpions, some of you guys may already know this, have the most toxic venom per, not capita. Is capita the right word? I'm not sure. I'm having a Mercury retrograde moment, but the poison of a scorpion is the most toxic poison per capita, or whatever the word, compared to any other poison from a poisonous creature. So everything in physical life translates to the Western astrology. So if scorpions have the most toxic, yeah, thank you, MJ, so much. Per volume, concentrated. Yes, thank you so much. So the Scorpio's venom has the most concentrated toxic venom out of any creature. MJ, you saved my ass right there. When a Scorpio stings, that's a death kill. Okay, so I've had that personally in my life where I haven't killed anybody. I'm not talking about killed anybody. That is the really adverse side of Scorpio, right? Is when I'm pissed off. You guys see me happy on the videos. I'm talking about the astrology. You're seeing a happy Scorpio. If I get triggered about something, if I get pissed off, for Scorpios and Aries, we have to let it out. And it's very, very intense. And it's very good for us to have physical, like on the physical level, to let it out, you know, not with other people, right? Unless we have to actually defend ourselves in a scary situation. But Scorpios, remember that you have the light, you have the mastery, you have the eagle and the phoenix within you, and you've also got the scorpion, which is the most toxic venom. So just be very mindful of your words. Be very mindful of, okay, what actually needs to be said in this situation? And what do I feel like saying because I've got that stinger that could fuck that person up, like psychologically, or ruin that person's life or ruin that person's month, right? So just as hard as it is, observe, don't absorb, walk away. Sometimes that's a practice that I do as a Scorpio, and I was born with Mars, Pluto trine. So I have like the Mars and the Pluto, very intense on top of being a Scorpio. If I get so riled up, I walk away. I go for a walk outside. I get off the phone. I get away from the situation that's triggering me. I have to go for a walk, right? And Jens laughs at me all the time. He's married to me. I'm a crazy Scorpio. Scorpio, we can go from we're fine one moment, we're calm one moment, to 100% different, totally freak out, totally like, So Aries and Scorpios are feeling intense, okay? Feeling intense. And this is where the astrology is great, because we can be prepped to deal with that. Know that this is the astrological weather of what's coming. So doing exercise will be a good astrological remedy for this Mars-Pluto, being creative, having a healthy sex life, okay? You know, doing Mars and Pluto ruled things as a remedy to play that energy out so that we're not as agitated or, you know, attracting intense power struggle energies. Okay. So, but that goes for all the signs. It'll just be the Aries, Scorpios, Leos, and Aquarians feeling it the most intensely. Okay. What else do I want to share? I have some other charts, but I want to be mindful of the time. Okay. I will share some country charts real quick. So what we've got here, this is the transit chart for the US, starting at the beginning of this Mars retrograde. So Mars goes retrograde December 6th at 6:33 p.m. Eastern Time. Very interesting that when Mars goes retrograde, this is exactly conjunct the North Node of the United States country chart. And the US has North Node 6 degrees in Leo in the 8th house of Scorpio. So this is intense secrets being revealed about the United States politicians, celebrities, famous people, people that have been in the spotlight, and also children, and what's been going on with the sex trafficking. So I think you guys can already feel that, but that is going to be really highlighted for sure. And let me just check something in my charts here. Did I mess up my charts? What is going on? Sorry, guys. I'm just fixing something on my slide deck. Okay. And then for Linda says, I barely remember sex. LOL. I think I am due. Yes. Very important to get that, have that healthy sexual energy flowing, even if you're single. Masturbation, it's a little bit funny to talk about, but that's our most primal creative energy. And when you are sexual on a regular basis, whether that's with yourself or with a partner that is loving and respectful towards you, that is very important for our physical health. Kind of goes without saying, but with this Mars retrograde in Leo is actually an astrological remedy for the energies, for sure. Okay, wanted to bring up to the transit chart for Canada for this Mars retrograde. So very interesting that this Mars retrograde, while it's in Leo, is going to be conjunct the natal Mercury of Canada in the 5th house of Leo. Okay, so Mercury, news, social media, news stories involving politicians. We've already had that. Canada has been highlighted with Justin Trudeau / Castro went to go visit Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago the other day. And there was the drama, Leo, the news story, Mercury of Trump saying, Justin, why don't we make Canada the 51st state of the United States? And then he also posted that funny picture of him like in the Rockies holding a Canadian flag, and he captioned it, "Oh, Canada." So implying, let's make Canada the 51st state. So there's going to be, again, geopolitical big news stories, developments happening. We could see a loss of leaders, a loss of a prime minister, a loss of a president with Mars retrograde, because Mars is about leadership, leaders in Leo, also leadership. So there will be changes to leaders, big time. So those are some of the charts I wanted to share. And last, okay, Ocean, why are you crying like that? Sorry, you guys. Last chart I want to share with you guys, and then we'll get into each of the 12 signs, is Donald Trump with this Mars retrograde. So this is his transit chart for the start of Mars retrograde in Leo. And this Mars retrograde in Leo is conjunct his natal Pluto in the 12th house. Okay. Now, Pluto in the 12th house is hidden enemies. When you've got Pluto in the 7th house, it's open enemies. I have that. I have that issue in life. Okay. So shout out to all my Pluto in the 7th house people, because that's when you're aware of people that may be surrounding you that don't have your back, or there's a weird or toxic situation. Whereas for Trump, he's got Pluto in the 12th house. So to have hidden enemies, to not be so aware when there might be someone around that is not for your highest good or doesn't have your back. So it's actually positive for Trump and the people surrounding Trump that I think there can be changes to some of his administration picks he's made, some of the people surrounding him. He's definitely going to have hidden enemies that may be around him, if any, exposed with this Mars retrograde conjunct his Pluto in the 12th house. And this is also a powerful time where we can see him not so much in the forefront, hidden behind the scenes. It's actually good for him to be behind the scenes at the moment. 12th house rules to be behind the scenes, work behind the scenes. There's definitely, with Mars retrograde on his Pluto in the 12th house, I don't like to say it, but just being honest astrologically, there's people trying to kill him right now, like 100%. Mars, a malefic about violence, killing, conflict, conjunct his Pluto, death, lifespan in his 12th house of hidden enemies, assassination. We may see another assassination attempt with Trump with this Mars retrograde in Leo. And I want to be wrong about that. Okay. But that is something that could possibly come up. He's very lucky that he does have some very good transits happening on top of that. He does have other challenging things. I'm actually going to do a whole separate astrology of Donald Trump video probably next week on my YouTube and Rumble channel. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, hidden enemies, hidden information coming to the surface for him as well. And he may make changes to his administration. So we could see that before Inauguration Day for sure. Okay, now we're going to get into each of the 12 sign predictions for this Mars retrograde. I invite you guys to most importantly listen to your rising sign predictions and sun sign predictions. You can also listen to your moon sign for more personal, psychological, emotional interpretations as well. And we're going to start with the Aries. And just give me one moment, you guys, because I've got a heater in front of me and I need to turn it off. It's getting too hot up in here. So just one moment, you guys, and I'll be right back. Okay. So let's see. Mars retrograde for our Aries. Well, Aries, you are ruled by Mars in astrology. This is your planetary ruler, okay? So as I said, you and the Scorpios and the Leos are going to be feeling this the most while Mars is retrograde, whether he's in Leo or whether he is in Cancer. So, you're having this Mars retrograde, Aries, in your 5th house, okay? This is the fun house. Okay, so there can be some fun, very energized, romantic situations coming up, creative inspiration, but this can also be because retrogrades are about the past, reflection, looking back. Aries, you can be having lovers from the past coming forward, potential for romantic conflict, could even be conflict with children, grandchildren, children that you have in your life. So remember, you guys, wherever we've got Mars retrograde, there is the potential for some conflict. It is the malefic planet of war. Also, Aries with Mars retrograde in your 5th house, this is potential for inner child issues coming up to the surface. And it's a great time for you in particular to do inner child healing. Very good for you to be revisiting creative gifts that you have not been giving any attention to as of late. And a little question that I have for you, journal prompt is, have you given your creativity or creative power away, and why? And have you given any of your confidence away, where to and why? Okay, so that is Mars retrograde in your 5th house. I'm sending so much love your way. Remember, Aries, the astrological remedy I said, because this is your planetary ruler, do some exercise, have a healthy sex life, move through the energy, because you will be feeling this more intensely than the other signs. Love you guys. Okay, next we move to our beautiful Taurus, sun, risings, and moons. Taurus, this Mars retrograde is happening in your 4th house. So there's potential for conflict with family. Past family issues can be coming up at this time. You may be feeling emotional instability, moodiness, emotional outbursts can come up. It is an alignment for you to review your home and family life. Does it feel positive and fun in the home? If not, what needs to be changed there? This can be a good time to maybe do some feng shui to bring some more fun, colors, positivity into the home environment. You may experience delay in home renovations or moving, anything having to do with the home or family. And good time and good astrological remedy to be doing creative gifts and hobbies from the home. So I love you, Tauruses, so much. Wishing you a very magical Mars retrograde. Even though this is a challenging transit, it does bring us insight. It is asking us to go within. So as we go through the signs, you guys, you're going to be like, oh my God, this sounds kind of negative. It sounds kind of challenging. It's not a walk in the park, Mars retrograde, but there is some beautiful energies that can come from it as well, right? This is where astrology is great because we can be conscious of it. Okay, Geminis, you guys are having Mars retrograde in your third house. So there's a potential for conflict with siblings, cousins, friends, neighbors, possible drama in your local environment. Watch out what you are communicating. Make sure you're communicating clearly to others. Review how you communicate, what you're passionate about learning. This is not a good time, Geminis, to be buying a car or important day-to-day gadgets. Okay, the third house is vehicles, our day-to-day gadgets. Mars, not good in the third house. I was born with Mars in the third house, and I've had so many freaking car issues in my life. That's a whole other story, whole other video. But yeah, not the best time, Geminis, from now until January 6th to buy a car, to buy any important gadgets, okay? But it is good to fix up your car. It is good to fix your phone, your laptop, to get things fixed. And you can feel easily agitated, more so than usual, in day-to-day interactions, so just being mindful for that. Love you, Geminis, so much, and have a happy Mars retrograde in Leo. Have as happy as possible Mars retrograde in Leo. Okay, Cancers, you're going to be having Mars retrograde in your second house. Potential conflict of your self-confidence, values, finances, and material resources. Important for you to be very mindful of spending during this time, especially on anything having to do with children or your grandchildren. Not a good time for risky investments in general or for career, risky things having to do with career. As Mars is the ruler of your 5th and 10th houses, risky investments, 5th house, career, the 10th house. It is an alignment for you to reassess your resources. What do you have around you? And does it make you feel good and joyous, right? Leo is about fun, joy, positive energy. Second house is our material possessions and resources. So one way you can work with this is to let go, Cancers, of physical objects, which I know sometimes that can be hard for the Cancers because you guys are very nostalgic and you like to hold on to things, right? Let go of objects, resources that don't serve you or don't uplift you anymore. That's one way you can work with it. And also remembering to keep your self-confidence up, do loving self-affirmations at this time, because we can be having, with Mars retrograde in the second house, just feeling more hard on ourselves, like self-confidence, self-worth issues. So just being mindful of that. And you can be creatively inspired in new income streams, but I would wait to launch anything new until Mars has gone retrograde in Cancer, which will be on January 6th professionally. So love you, Cancers, so much, and wishing you a magical Mars retrograde in Leo. And now the Leos, this is Mars retrograde in your sign from December 6th to January 6th. You will be feeling this transit very strong. Physically, you may be more tired than usual. So, doing extra self-care, eating very well, doing exercise is an important remedy. Be mindful of appearance changes, okay? This is your first house. So be very mindful of getting a haircut, getting, plastic surgery. I'm not into plastic surgery, but just saying, I don't judge, do whatever you guys want to do. Getting tattoos, getting piercings, anything like that. This is not a good time with Mars retrograde in your first house, in your sign, to be doing major body appointments, to be doing surgeries, to be doing, beauty things. So unless you absolutely have to for a serious reason, of course, then you have to. Maybe reschedule those appointments until after January 6th. Okay, you guys, it's funny because I am an astrologer, obviously, and I tell you guys the astrology, I'm listening to the astrology all the time. And then sometimes in my personal life, I'm like, okay, yeah, we got this transit, but whatever, I'm going to do it anyways, right? I'm a Scorpio, so sometimes I'm a little bit rebellious like that. Leos. Okay, for me, my planetary ruler is Venus. I'll give you guys a silly example. And the last time we had Venus retrograde, I went to go get my hair cut. I'm a Taurus rising ruled by Venus. I knew it's not a good time to get the haircut, but I was like, you know what? How bad can it possibly be? I'm just going to go do it anyways. Guys, my haircut was so bad. It was so embarrassing. It was completely the opposite of what my hair usually looks like. I usually just go for the same thing. My hairdresser went off, did this whole crazy like 80s hair look, and it looked like shit. And I am never getting my hair cut with a Venus retrograde, with Mars retrograde in my first house. Never, ever, ever. Okay, so Leos, just be very mindful of any physical appearance changes you do at this time. It is good for you to take a step back from being seen, reevaluate yourself, how you are seen, how you're putting yourself out there. You can be feeling, Leos, the power struggle theme more intensely than others because you've got Mars on the rising in an opposition to Pluto on your descendant. So Leos are likely to be having conflict, possibly in love relationship, with work partners. Okay, there may even be some breakups coming up for the Leos. Okay, so be honest with yourself about toxic energy that you might be having in love or work or committed relationship. And this is a time where it's good to let that stuff go if you need to, right? You're going through a lot of toxicity being expelled. Pluto is in an opposition to the rising. So this is also a good time, Leos, I would say even to do a cleanse. That could be a remedy to do a physical health cleanse with Mars in your sign, Pluto in an opposition to that. That'll help you more naturally, easily just let go of toxicity that may be in relationships overall in your life as well. Oh, Sovereign Soul Sam says, I'm already going through the breakup. It's a mess. I'm so sorry to hear that, Sam. I'm sending lots of love your way. Yeah, not easy, but these things happen in life. Sue says, LOL, Meg buys a wig. I have never worn a wig. Sometimes people say I wear a wig. Sometimes people say I'm even a man, and I'm not actually a woman, but yeah, no wig on this head. Okay, love you, Leos, and wishing you a magical retrograde. Next, we move to our Virgos. So for Virgos, you are having this Mars retrograde in your 12th house, okay? There can be potential sleep issues, okay? Not fun. Potential for sleep issues. 12th house is sleep, rest, dreams. You can be having dreams of the past, dreams of past lovers, past sex, past passions, past fun, okay? All those Leo-ruled areas of life. Dreams from being a child. There can be memories from your subconscious coming forward of being a child. Healing that comes up through remembering things from being a child that perhaps you forgot about, okay? Delays in behind the scenes creative work. It is a very good time for reflection, being alone, being creative. You can have possibly hidden information coming forward to the surface that may be dramatic. So I do think this Mars retrograde for you Virgos, even though there may be some issues with sleep, make sure you're getting enough rest, enough sleep. I'm hearing Spirit say for the Virgos, interesting. This is like a very specific thing for me to say, but Spirit's wanting me to say to the Virgos, some of you are drinking way too much coffee right now. And some of you guys are taking way too much, what are those things called? caffeine stimulators. Okay, I'm feeling this very strong for some of you Virgos in particular. If you're having like 10 cups of coffee a day, and I don't like to sound like a judgmental stickler. Okay, I'm going to be a Virgo towards you guys because this is how you guys like to talk to other people some of the times. 10 cups of coffee a day, not so good. Okay, 5 Red Bulls a day, not so good. Okay, so Virgos, if you are having sleep issues, it's interesting because everything happens for a reason. Okay. It's like highlighting, hey, maybe this, yeah, it's being amplified by the Mars retrograde, but maybe this is also partially because you're drinking way too much coffee, you're having too much energy drink, or you're watching crazy conspiracies right before you go to bed. Like, that's not the best thing to do. So, Virgos, be mindful of the stimulation that you're taking in, because it's important for you to be getting rest, and your rest might be affected at this time. Tammy says, Meg, looking into my soul, coffee is my drug of choice, LOL. Yeah, I love coffee too, but I can't do more than 2 cups or else I'll have an anxiety attack. So I always think it's interesting when people can have so many cups of coffee in a day. So yeah, Virgo, also a good time with this Mars retrograde to be doing active meditation, healing practices, as there may be some intense things coming up to the surface, okay, for healing and to be, being revealed, coming to the surface. So love you, Virgo, so much. Wishing you a very happy Mars retrograde in Leo. Next, we have our Libras. Libras, you're having Mars retrograde in the 11th house. There can be potential for conflict during this time with friends, groups, community, possibly old friends from the past coming back, okay? That could be a theme. Be mindful of being overly dramatic online and social media, right? Wherever we've got this Mars retrograde, it can be like a dramatic energy. So just be mindful, like, what are you putting out there? And is that just you acting out the Mars retrograde, or do you actually need to put that out there? Also, do you really need to be fighting with people online? If you are in the comments section, that's such a waste of energy. So you Libras usually aren't like that, but that might be coming up for some of you guys during this Mars retrograde, like feeling like getting into a conflict online with someone in the comment section, or saying something, putting a video or post out that you don't usually do. So being very mindful with technology, social media at this time. Good time for you during this retrograde to reevaluate your dreams, long-term goals, relationship to technology, and your friends and group associations. Love you, Libras, so much. Okay, next, my fellow Scorpios. Okay, Scorpios, if you didn't watch the first part of this video, you're going to want to rewind, because I gave specific advice to the Aries and Scorpio about how you guys are, well, I'm a Scorpio. We're both ruled by Mars in astrology. So we are really going to be affected by this Mars retrograde in Leo. We can be feeling more aggressive. We can be feeling more frustrated, agitated. So some remedies that are very good: exercise, healthy sex life, letting excess anger, rage, frustration, energy out through creative practices. Okay. And this Mars retrograde is going to be in an opposition to Pluto the whole time while it's in Leo. These are our 2 planetary rulers for Scorpio. So Scorpios, most of us are going to be experiencing some sort of power struggle come up. Important for us to reevaluate where we're directing our energy, who we're surrounding ourselves with, and why. There's likely to be a very big release of something for the Scorpios, okay? Big release professionally, in work, with long-term goals, with that Mars in the 10th house, and big emotional release, big trauma release, maybe family issue release with that Pluto in the 4th house as well. There can be more of a potential for drama and conflict with parents, older people, or at work. Reevaluate your work, and is this something that gives you joy and you're passionate about or not? That can be very apparent to you at this time. Also, what are your long-term goals? Okay. Some of you may be having people from the past that you've professionally worked with coming forward. So that's going to be interesting. So Scorpios, take it easy out there. You're going to be feeling hot and heavy and intense. Okay, so just being honest with you, I'm with you. I'm going to be with you every step of the way in my daily astros, in all my videos throughout this period. So love you guys so much and sending lots of love your way. Okay, Saggies, you're having this Mars retrograde in the 9th house, the Sagittarian house, and Sagittarian ruled areas of life. So this retrograde, it's an alignment for you to reevaluate your beliefs, higher learning pursuits, teachers that you surround yourself, spiritual practices. You may be experiencing delays in foreign travel or challenge in foreign travel. If you are going to be traveling, Saggies, from now, December 6th, when I'm filming this video, to January 6th, while Mars is retrograde in Leo, double check everything having to do with travel. Okay, they can just feel heavier, possibly more delays. But I do like that Mars retrograde in your 9th house. It's a very good time to go inward, to be doing meditation, to be doing prayer, to connect to your inner child and your higher consciousness through spiritual practices, okay? And there can also be subjects that you used to be really interested in, even as a child, coming back to the surface that you may want to get back involved in. So I love this for consciousness expansion, releasing beliefs that no longer serve you guys. Just be mindful, Saggy, of any travel that you're going to be doing this time. Sending lots and lots of love your way. Next, we have our Cappies, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Risings. You're going to be having this Mars retrograde in Leo, while it's in Leo until January 6th, in the 8th house of Scorpio, okay? So for Capricorns, you've just come out of the Pluto and Capricorn transit the past 16 years. Congratulations. You have graduated the hardest transit that anyone can possibly go through. You are out of it. Thank God. I've got my moon in Capricorn, so I'm with you guys. Mars retrograde, you know, Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio in your 8th house of Scorpio. So this can be, you're still coming out of the energy of that Pluto and Capricorn transit. There can be memories coming back from your childhood. There can be secrets being revealed about your inner child, children that you have surrounding you in your life. There can be, you know, creative gifts that you used to have. I know having Pluto in Capricorn, and I've got my moon in Capricorn, made me feel like less creative and more heavy. This is a good time to get back into your creativity, to get back into your sex life. The 8th house is sex, trusting others, opening up, and where can you bring more empowered love and joy into your life now that Pluto is out of Capricorn, okay? It's safe for you to be out in the world. It's safe for you to be experiencing life, to be having fun. So there can be some, I'm hearing spirits say ripples coming out, like you're still processing Pluto having just left your sign. There can be some emotions around that. There can still be realizations around that. So be gentle with yourself, Capricorns. You can be feeling intense, okay? During this retrograde, you're definitely processing still. And let me see where you've got Aries and Scorpio in your chart. In your 4th house and your 11th house, yeah. So there can be conflict and issues coming up with family, with friends, secrets coming out about those areas that then empower you to move forward. But this is overall transformational for you. Sending lots of love to you, Capricorns, and have a magical Mars retrograde in your 8th house. Second last, we've got our Aquarian, Sun, Moon, and Risings. You guys are having Mars retrograde in Leo in the 7th house. Aquarians, many of you are going to have lovers coming back from the past, work partners coming back from the past, people from the past. This is the 7th house of people, others, okay? So Aquarians, you've just had Pluto enter your sign. Pluto is in Aquarius and is going to be in an opposition to this Mars retrograde the whole time that it's in Leo. So people are attracted to you. Okay, people are attracted to you. People are coming back from past, present, and future. And it's important for you to be honest with yourself around, and you guys are very naturally friendly, very naturally social, but we're not here to be friends with everybody. We're not here to be lovers with everybody. We're not here to be work partners with everybody. So similar to the Leos, your opposite sign, there can be power struggles. There can be the release of toxic relationships and situations big time for you during this Mars retrograde, okay? You are being invited to reassess your commitments, reassess your relationships, and are they positive in nature or not? Do they uplift you or not? That will let you know if they need to be released or not. Okay. Love you, Aquarians, very much. Let me know how you guys are doing in the chat if you feel like it. And I'm sending lots of love your way. Pisces, Sun, Rising, and Moons, you guys are having this Mars retrograde in Leo in the 6th house. Okay. So Mars has a lot to do with health. It's one of our physical health planets in astrology placements. 6th house is of health. So Pisces, more so than any of the other signs, I want you guys to really be taking care of your health. I'm going to be talking a lot about health moving forward with the Mars retrograde, with the Virgo eclipses, with a lot of the things we got coming up in 2025. Pisces can be more prone to getting sick in the medical astrology with Mars retrograde in your 6th house. Thank you so much, MJ, for the super chat. Mwah. I love you and I miss you very, very much. So yeah, Pisces, eating well. I'm hearing spirits say eat hearty, nutritious, grounding food, warm your body. I'm feeling intuitively like many Pisces are maybe like too cold at the moment or having an issue with being cold all the time. Heat your body, take salt baths, go into the sauna, go into warm salt pools, heat your body. Eat well, do grounding, do earthing, because you're just physically going to be feeling this Mars retrograde more so than the other signs, okay? But it is an alignment for you to be reviewing your health, reviewing your day-to-day routines, your exercise regimen. Doing exercise, Mars rules retrograde is a good astrological remedy for having Mars retrograde in the 6th house. There can also be some conflict coming up in your day-to-day work. 6th house rules day-to-day work, possibly with pets as well. So this is a good time to, if like you haven't brought your pet to the vet for a while, I'm not one to like go to doctors all the time, but just saying if there has been an issue with a pet, it's better to maybe go to a vet, go to a specialist than just sit on something that might be going on or something that's an obvious issue, okay? And this Mars retrograde is inspiring you into, new day-to-day work opportunities that you're passionate about, that you're inspired about, and health practices as well that are fun to you. You know, maybe that's dancing, maybe that's yoga, hiking. That can also be something to reflect on this Mars retrograde. What's your health routine? And does it feel fun and joyous to you? Because that is very important when it comes to health. Okay, Pisces, love you. And I'm sending so much love your way. And we have gone through the collective reading, the 12 sign readings for this Mars retrograde. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. If you're watching live or if you're watching the replay as well, thank you so, so much. And before I finish up, again, want to mention, thank you so much, Suze, for the super chat. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your super chat donations. That makes it all possible for me to continue doing this content on my channels. Also want to mention again, I'm going to put the information for Jens and I's upcoming live events in Belgium that we've got coming up. Going to put that in the description box below. You guys can email Jens directly to attend our joint live lecture on December 14th in Limburg, Belgium, or our joint winter solstice day retreat. That's going to be in Zuinkirke, just outside of Bruges, Belgium. And Jens has got his 2 solo live lectures on the 19th and the 22nd. So all that will be in the description. I do have personal astrology readings available, workshops, courses, all those links are below, as well as my special new Astrology Predictions 2025 workshop over 10 hours long that I just recorded live last weekend. So go check that out at the description box below. Thank you, John, so much. Mwah, love you. And yeah, guys, this Mars retrograde, I'm going to be honest, it's not fun. It is very challenging, okay? But it is really highlighting and energizing to us an area of life that we've maybe given our power away. We need to pay attention to at this time. And we, of course, live in a realm of duality where there is light and dark. And, you know, this Mars retrograde can be more on the challenging side of things. It's not going to last forever. And I actually think even though Mars is at fall position in Cancer, I think it'll be easier for us to deal with the Mars retrograde in Cancer portion from January 6th to February 12th than this portion. This is going to be the most dramatic portion in my personal astrological opinion from now till January 6th. Okay. So be mindful, you guys, who you surround yourself with, where you go, of your safety. Okay. Just got to say that with Mars, and especially while it's in an opposition with Pluto. I love you all so, so much, sending so much cosmic love your way. And anything else I want to say? Please remember to like, share, subscribe. I think that's it. I want to say, give out a shout out to Princess Diana for coming through. That was pretty cool. And you know what? Let's pick an extra angel number card before we sign off. Let's do an angel number card before we sign off. I picked the stability card 44 twice this past week, once in today's daily astro show and the other time on the As Above, So Below show on the Beyond Mystic channel with the Shala. What's our angel number for today? Ooh, 1221, symbiosis. I feel like I have pulled that one before. Let's see what the description says. Symbiosis. This is our guidance for this Mars retrograde, our angel card, our angel number card. You have been consumed. Oh my God, you cannot make this stuff up. Guys, listen to this. You have been consumed with inner conflict. Mars rules conflict. And need to address it before it causes damage. Mars rules damage. Self-doubt and insecurities may be holding you back from making major growth moves. Turn your attentions towards making real positive change and choices for your mental health. Actively put your own needs first. Overwork leading to energy drain. Call to put yourself first, resolving lingering inner conflict, addressing insecurity and self-doubt. You can't make this stuff up, you guys. This is not the time to be outward, to be trying to save people, to be starting something new. This is a time of going within, hibernation, loving yourself, cultivating that inner strength. And we're going to get through this. I love you all so, so much. 1221 blessings your way, and have an absolutely magical Mars retrograde in Leo. Bye, everybody. See you soon.